Hey guys, this is Tad. I decided to take the time to break down our last game against Loyola, just so kind of we have something to go through and kind of watch over and over again. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm doing a voiceover of the entire game. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, or any comments, feel free to comment, just so we can have an open dialogue about what we should be doing in game. Alright? Cool, here we go. Schmidt, great job getting the ball to Peach. We didn't start with control. Schmidt, while that should have been your goal, at the same time, let's try to get control back and work that a little bit. Andrew is still tagging in on the hoops back there. So let's try to get at least our beaters back in the play before we make a play down the field. But I did like the attempt. And you got robbed. Andrew, great job getting the ball back. Schmidt, good fast break. Nice. Good setting up the zone. Tess, you got to make sure you're throwing that ball back because you just left Andrew out to drown too. And this guy's going to go in, have a decent shot. Good block by Nico. So let's run that back a little bit. Kind of see exactly what we could have done a little bit better. So remember, the big part of the zone is that we're trying to keep both bludgers in the paint. If we only have one bludger, we need to value that ball a lot. So that needs to be staying home the whole time. You overextended right there, and see, instantly got beat right here. Luckily, Andrew was right behind you to pick that up, but he's going to get beat as well. And that's going to give this guy opportunity to drive in. And if he'd made a better shot choice, probably could have gotten a dunk and a goal. So we have to make sure, one, Andrew, you're staying in front of the beater that has the bludger if we don't have two on defense. But also, Tessa, you can't be extended this far back. All right, this far up. We have to have our beaters staying in the paint back here to make their beaters really have to make a conscious decision to go that far into our paint. Because right now it only benefits them, you coming out this far. And it shows right there. I clean that up, and this guy totally could have had a goal on the middle hoop, but he went side anyway. Another thing here, when these players are running back, see here, this is an excellent time beater to start blowing this play up in transition. Getting bludger control back is sometimes easier done in transition. So as soon as we get scored on, instantly take your bludger and start spreading out the other beater and try to create something in transition. Right? We're on offense, so we have time to go back to our hoops and tag in and grab our bludger. They're on defense, so let's take advantage of that. Good tap out, Andrew. Perfect. Good reset up top. And that's the play, guys. That is literally the quintessential play right there. So we're going to rewind it. We had a nice little reset. We had a good tap out by Andrew, I think, to start it off. And so right there, he cleared out some space for Peachy to come up. Peachy make a pass back. That's going to come back out to Peachy as a reset. And then look, Schmidt's right here wide open. And that's the play. That's literally the quintessential play that we should be looking for every time. Schmidt was the unguarded chaser, and he found that spot right in front of the hoops. So we have bludger control back here again. Let's see how we use it. Tessa, great pressure on the top there. Schmidt, great pressure. So right here, Tessa, just beat that beater. The other beater partner is all the way over here. So if you beat her and take her out of the play, what happens is that Andrew can come over here and just, at the very worst, trade bludgers with this guy so that they both get beat. You're still here on defense. And Andrew can tag back in, pick up a ball, and now we have a power play on our hands. Because both their beaters are being sent back to hoops, and we have both bludgers in our hands and one on the ground somewhere over here, right? But you have to take that beater out when they're not working together. That's like super imperative, and it's something we need to be doing way more often. That was a good throwback, Tessa. And you're able to get your ball back. Perfect. Andrew, good aggression. Good aggression. Really make sure your head's on a swivel here, though. If that guy had made his beat, then we would have had a no-bludger situation on our hands, right? So to see that roll back again. Tessa with a roll back. Andrew, really good pressure here. Love that. Once again, head on a swivel, because if this guy had made this beat here, you're done. But good. I like it a lot. I feel like you're getting a lot more aggressive with it. This is perfect. Just got to stay buzzing around like I told you before. That was a really good press here. Andrew, good. Good to back up home. Smart backing up home. Tessa, good deflect. Good pressure there to keep him out of the paint. Love that. Once again, another opportunity to beat her out, not have her bother you anymore, and Andrew could smoke this guy. See, perfect. That's the play. And then right now, Andrew should run up and smoke this guy, or you could smoke this guy. Look, and he just took him out, and look, now we're pressing off this. And he just got beat, and it's about to be our ball. That's the exact play we wanted. Right? That's the exact play we want. So rewind that a little bit, just a couple seconds. Tessa beats the Loyola beater out. And then Andrew should be a little faster on this pickup to go beat this other beater. He's going to go out, beat this beater, throws his ball back illegally, but it's fine. Andrew gets back in the play. Now we have two beaters against no beaters against their offense. And we instantly tear it apart. Boom, he gets beat. Boom, turnover, and look. Now that's a no-bludger opportunity. That Peachy scores on. That should be the play every single time. That's literally the perfect play. Nice flex there, Schmidt. Love it. Big fan. Another flex. Like now we got Andrew Payton in. Melanie at point. Good beat, Andrew. Good press, Andrew. Or sorry, Payton. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Right now, I would say go home. Nice. Rewind that a little bit to see what happened. Payton's pressing. Payton makes that second beat. There it goes, pick up the quaffle. And we're getting that reset called, which is perfect. Fantastic pressure from Melanie, who's still running you back on broom and no one noticed. Oh, she didn't stop. He didn't stop play. Oh, Scott. So we're getting the ball back. And we got a goal off that. Fantastic press. Payton, good aggressiveness, good speed. Good speed. That's exactly what we want. Remember, it's not that we're trying to actually throw the ball or use the leaders, that we're scaring them, right? We want them to see the hoops being guarded by three people and then see a beater running at them and freak out. Good, Payton. Good, Payton. Andrew, gotta make sure you're throwing that back so you don't lose it. Nico, great block the first time. So let's rewind that and see what happened on that play there. So you see Payton extend out here to the side, the left side. And then Andrew gets beat in the middle of the paint, which once again should not be happening. See how we got double teamed by the beater without a bludger? She's going to beat her with the ball. Take that beater away from this beater. Peyton, you can even pressure a little bit to keep that beater off. Sorry, this beater off. And Andrew, take out that beater without a bludger. So that even if you do get beat, that beater now has to pick up 2 bludgers before you can tag back in. Right? So now, you get beat, they get control back. They beat Peyton, and then they score. So we really have to make sure that we're not letting them get both in one. Good pass to Peachy. And the up and in from Allie. Good look. Peyton and Andrew, way to be aggressive off the turnover. You really made up for that last play. And we're able to get points on the board from that, which is great. If we're going to get scored on, we should be scoring in transition immediately after. That's how that should look. Because it usually means their beaters had to come so far into our paint that they can't get back on defense in time. So we should be fast breaking almost every time we're scored on. If you got Tessa Peyton in now. Tessa, you could easily beat that guy right now. He's so far away from his beater partner. She gets a swing. Good pressure, Tessa. Perfect. Good deflect, too. That time you can just stay out there and keep being aggressive. Another good deflect. Peyton, you got to make sure you're staying home when Tessa's out there like that. Got to make sure one person's always home and one person's pressing. If we have 2 out pressing at the same time, then there's going to be too much open space around the field. Good job on the forced turnover. Yeah, perfect call, Peyton, to run the 1.5. Good beat, Tessa. And a good shot from Caden. Great job, Peyton, on pushing that beater out of the way. Let's watch that one a little bit. So you see Peyton coming up here. Perfect time in front of the beater. He gets beat. Boom. He doesn't have to do anything. He literally just put that ball on the ground for a second or two as she beat him, and Caden had time to get in and get a shot off. That's literally all you have to do. It's not a huge tackle every time. It's nothing spectacular. It's just getting that bludger out of a person's hands for even a second. Good way to cover for Tessa as she beat that other beater out, Peyton. That's perfect. We want to make that other beater really be scared about making that beat. And now, though, one of y'all should be smoking this beater before the beater partner gets back into play. Cool. Let's see how we got scored on this one. See Peyton coming out, Tessa coming out with the bludger. Peyton, you went for that deflect instead of the throwback. So your ball got left out here. And you got lucky that his ball went so far out that you had time to run back and come back in. But a lot of beaters are going to play this weekend are not going to give you the same opportunities. They're going to make that beat and clean that ball up and then go out and get theirs. So you got to make sure you're making those throwbacks and going for the deflects. And this guy's able to get in the paint. And then I think Tessa was just had to compensate for Peyton being out. I don't think that was communicated to her. So she comes over to guard that space, and by that time, like, I already came in for a shot and scored. So if you do get knocked out, you have to communicate to your beater partner so they know to slide over. That's the biggest thing. All beating is is just communication. Let's go back on that one a little bit. Yeah, Tessa, you got to make that beat. As I said, just don't let them get that close. The closer a person gets, the harder it is to beat them. As far as like a couple yards away to like in your face, because you just can't get that full like release off. What I like to do is when everyone's coming up like that, literally run up to them, pump fake their face, and then beat them low and like the leg somewhere. It makes it harder to catch. We could also even double up, pump fake high, pump fake low, and then pump fake and then throw it in their face. But yeah, you gotta be making those beats, or else we're just gonna lose control super easily. So right here. We got lucky that she missed. And then they got a good deflect. And it was a turnover. And this guy's coming up in transition. Just a good play. It scared us back. I'm glad we got back on D fast enough. We have control. Great to cover for each other beaters. We still have control, which is awesome. Especially when they're this far out, it's okay to cover for each other. Good, Peyton. Really make sure you're not throwing that hard, though. Tessa, great. Do cover for him again. That's perfect. Don't make sure you're doubling up. Good. Peyton stayed home on here. I love that. We're doing a great job staying home. Peyton, really make sure you're coming back home. As soon as you extend, you come back. So last thing you need is beater going up in the middle. We're even isolating Tessa like this. She's still able to get her ball back and get back in. And Peyton, this is the time to be pressing. This is the time to be really aggressive. And not miss. You should be running up to that person and making that beat. Great job on defense there. And then she got a lucky shot off on this hoop. But I liked it a lot. That honestly was not a bad possession defensively. Peyton just got to make sure you're making those beats. You don't have to make those huge throws. Just press really hard to keep them out of the paint. So on this offense, Peyton, fantastic play. I loved it. That was honestly the perfect play. You can maybe stand to go in a second or two sooner before Peachy started his drive. But after the pass to Caden, you basically just helped Caden anyway. So, sorry, let's get a little bit sooner. Cool. So the big thing about running the 1.5 play, or like blowing him up, whatever you want to call it, is that you have to be really before the ball carrier. So right here, Peachy is about to pass you, Peyton. That being said, Peachy, you have to be watching for Peyton, right? You're waiting for that no bludger opportunity. So let Peyton make that play first, or at least get a little closer in before you go. What is up with this dude's ankle? It looks like it's broken. Cool. Anyway, you have to make sure you get there before your ball carrier does. That being said, I don't think this is the worst play in the world because, as I said here, after Peachy makes that pass, Peyton just obliterates this kid. Well, I won't say obliterates, but he definitely takes him out of the play for a second, just enough for Caden to get a goal in. And I'll take that any day of the week. So, good play, but we can make it a little more crisp, a little easier for the ball carrier. Good pressure, David. I loved it. Peyton, great pressure. Good deflect. Yes. All of that's great. But see how we got less control off that? And Peachy put up a not great shot. So that was really good until right at the end there. Let's rewind that just to see again what happened. So everything about this was good. You see this beater out here. Peyton took this opportunity to press. I loved it. Fantastic. He presses, makes that pass off. Now from here, this is where Tessa needs to make sure she's beating that other beater. And Peyton can make a play on this beater. He takes his beater out. This beater's by himself. We're either going to make him force a reset or pass it somewhere all over here, which will easily get guarded by any of our chasers. So from here, he makes the deflect, which is fine. And he goes after the chaser, which is great. And then here he's going to lose the ball. Peyton, that was a fine play. The biggest thing is that against better beaters, you're going to lose that every time. So just be a little smarter about how you're making that play. Overall, the instincts were there. And Peachy, feel free to reset that and slow down. Or we get a free reset after we start a drive. Tessa tapped that guy out before he gets over there. Peyton, good job. Yeah, like if you can help each other in the paint like that, that's awesome. You just have to make sure we're paying attention to Quaffle too. Peyton, good press. Tessa, yeah, that was not ideal. So what happened here is that when Peyton came out, so did Tessa. So we did great holding on to control now, right? We have it right here, but it's still a little on the outside. Like if we do this against Columbia or Creighton, they're running this in and dunking in like 2 seconds. So you have to make sure we have presence on both sides of the field. Peyton comes out. There's a good press there. And while he presses him, he's being followed by this guy. Tessa, you need to stay home to watch the drive. Peyton, this is... So when you're extending, you have to remember there's almost always going to be a beater on you. So get ready to throw that ball back. So out here, Peyton gets beat. When he could have thrown his ball back, and that guy would have had to go chase this ball. Peyton could have gone back to hoops and tagged in, and Tessa could have been at home still protecting against the Quaffle. Instead, all of our beaters are out here on the side, and then here's the Quaffle against our 3 chasers on the hoops. There's going to be a call on the play. Peachy, that was great defense. But once again, against a really good team, against Creighton or against Minnesota, that's a goal almost every time. Peyton's going to get his card that he should not have gotten because the other guy didn't get one when he threw a ball back. But that's fine. It's okay. But yeah, Peyton, biggest thing, you got to be working on those throwbacks, man. Throwbacks save lives. The deflects are cool. They're worthwhile sometimes, but if you want the least loss type of play, it's throwing your ball back to the hoops. Cool, cool. Love all this. It's my favorite thing in the world. Alright, so one thing we didn't do in this game is that if we ever only have one beater in the box, great job, Allie. If we only have one beater in the box, we need to slow down the clock. We should never be running up the field if we have a 1-minute penalty on a beater. This is only going to look bad for us. The Swedish traded beats there, and that could have been a play for control, but instead, now it's going to be a no-bludger situation against us. Good stop again. The beater got beat again. We've had no bludger for most of this 1 minute in the box. And we just forced a turnover over to Peachy. See, this is horrible. This is awful. We have to make sure we're just stalling the ball, passing it around, and wasting that minute until we get Peyton back into play. It's almost useless to try to play the game down a bludger. And then a bludger opportunity. Fantastic stop. And they finally got the playoff. We just have to remember that even if the play is breaking down like that, right, that we're still staying on our hoops. So I think Peachy was on that hoop originally, looks like. Yeah, so Peach is on that right hoop. So let's watch this play develop. And it goes in. Peachy, if you're staying on your hoop here. Caden, if you're staying on your hoop. That would have been prevented. Remember, stay on your hoops and wait for the beaters to try to clear out a play like that. That's why we play the zone. I have the second part of this clip pulled up as well. Back on offense. I think still minus Peyton. Andrew's back in. Andrew, try to make your beats a little better. Review this play. Your beaters were way too segmented there. We gotta stay together. Andrew, try to make your beat a little softer. That was a pretty hard beat for someone that close. And you also missed, so you had to go catch your ball all the way out here. Peachy. This isn't the greatest take, because they still have 2 bludgers. But I'm not going to say no to it, because they weren't paying attention at all. I think you could probably have had a better shot choice. Pump fake one, shoot the other, or even look for Allie, who's over here just wide open. That's that cross pass that we won in the first place. So unless it was someone else back here moving up, which there might have been, try to look at that pass next time, especially because players are going to see you and then know that you're going to try to shoot. So look for that cross pass. It'll really throw them off, add a lot of versatility to your game. We still have no butters on defense. Yep, and you got that shot off. We finally got our bludger back. So yeah, in that last just a minute, we gave up 3 scoring opportunities, 2 of which, if they were a better team, they would have easily scored on, and 1 of which they did score on. Andrew, good tap out. Make sure when you are tapping out that as soon as that ball hits the ground, you're putting your fist up. So you can't get beat out like that if she comes up. Alright? That's imperative. You have to do it every time. Fist up right there. Instead you got beat, you have to go back. Luckily Peyton picked up a bludger. Peach, I don't think I have to tell you, that was not a good shot choice. Looks back and see why. So Peach, your options right here are Allie on the right, Caden on the left. I assume there's someone in the back. As we go up, you have Allie over here, being kind of, looks like guarded between 2 people. You have Caden on your left, and then you have 2 beaters right here. And your beaters behind you. This does not look like an ideal play. And it showed. Passed it to Allie, who's being basically double covered, almost triple covered if you count this keeper. Instead, you could have pump faked to the right, where everyone was looking, and then found Caden right here wide open on the left. You also could have waited for Peyton to come up a little bit and to help out with any of this pressure, and probably still found Caden on the left. So just try to keep your head up on those plays, because those last 2 could have been easy goals. Good pressure from Melanie. The biggest thing you can do while up top is just wrap people up. Even if you have no intent of taking them down, it makes them freak out and pass the ball off. So if you can get at least a wrap on, that's all you really need. We lost control. Andrew should be in front of Peyton. Good. Chasing Peyton, great job chasing that down. That's perfect. So exactly what we should do. Peachy, good D there as well. Andrew, great job. I think this is where you tackle this girl. Yeah, it is. That was great. I'll take it. You kept her out of the paint. Great D, guys. We got bludger control. Love that. Payton's going to go blow up the play. Very excited. Okay, and you waited a little long to pass the ball to Allie. I would have gone, sorry, too early. I would have gone in a little sooner. So let's rewind this a little bit. So here, Peyton, this is why I take my ball up with me when I run the same play. One, it's a little more dynamic than just leaving your ball back to where they can just go up and try to make a play for it. So what I like to do is have your beater partner also come up with you to about midfield. So both beaters come up to midfield. One beater that is not going up to tackle this beater, they can just tag out chasers at the top. They're protected. No one's going to bother them at all. Maybe tap out this other beater if they're being bothered by them. While this beater takes their bludger, maybe taps out a chaser or two on their way, and then makes the play and throws their bludger back to their teammate, who can then just in turn throw one back and carry one back to hoops themselves. And that would have helped y'all help Caden out a little bit, who's kind of struggling to get back this point defender. And he does get around. And then through here, Caden, you make a pass that's really not part of our system. You pass it to Allie, who's back here, and I don't doubt she was open. She was probably unguarded. It looks like Melanie was guarded here, and Peachy was kind of guarded here as well. So what I would have done is either, once again, pump fake to make the defense move. You could have passed to Peachy, or even gone in more and gotten that cross pass to Melanie here. So the ball went back here to Allie. She's being guarded, looks like by 1, 2, or 3 people. Now Allie gets the pass off, I think, to Peachy. And Peachy gets in and gets a shot off. Once again, Peachy, you really could have found a little bit of an easier goal if you're looking at Melanie here. Comes around. That keeper sliding to block your shot. Once again, fake that right. Boom. That's an easy shot to Melanie. Melanie, that was good positioning. Let's just try to make sure that it's the unguarded chaser that's on the hoop every time, not someone that's guarded. Because Melanie, you were guarded for about most of that possession. Andrew, you gotta make sure you're throwing those back, man. You can't be getting beat like that. But I do think you make up for it right here, if I remember correctly. Yeah, good tackle from Andrew. He gets the ball back. If we did give up a goal, let's just break down how that last goal happened. So we already lost control. Anger makes a pass out. Peach, you stepped to her, which was fine. She was pretty close. Peyton, if you had been a little more central, probably could have followed that a little more. But you were kind of drifting off to the right a little bit, so that kind of hurt that pass. And then it looks like they just got one in and through Melanie. So Melanie, even when you're playing that hoop, it's less even about the hoop and more about the area around the hoop, right? So as soon as the person went back there, you used to instantly be shading that person because you 100% could have jumped out and gotten that ball and intercepted it. So really make sure that you keep your head on a swivel. Always be looking for opportunities to steal the ball from someone or intercept the ball from someone. Clay Payton's about to run 1.5 again, which is exciting. This girl's not putting her... Oh, wait. Didn't have a fist. That's right. She doesn't need to put a fist up. I love this. I love that. Rewind it a little bit. Perfect time. Pete. Love that, Peyton. Looks like it was not a good pass, Peach. So let's see what happened on that one. Let's break that one down a little bit. So Peach, you got Nico on this pick and roll here. And you got Melanie here. And then I assume Allie in the back. From here, Melanie, you could have been a little further up and been pushed on this hoop here. That being said, Peach should look for Nico on this cross. You could have, honestly, this whole right side of the field is completely open. And Peyton's about to murder this beater for you. You definitely could have been looking for one of those two. So don't get tunnel vision. Trying to force that pass to Allie when both Melanie and Nico were both there for playable opportunities. Nico, great cut off that pick and roll though. Really liked it. And Melanie, honestly, good position. Just try and go a little bit sooner and get there. We still have... Make sure you're throwing that ball back, Andrew. Peyton, always make sure you're guarding the beater without a ball. Andrew didn't have one, you're just on the side doing nothing. Keep that girl out of Andrew's space. So pre-snitch on pitch, buzzer control is super important. We want to have control at like 16 minutes and then hold on to it dearly. Great tackle, Andrew. You technically weren't beat. He didn't let the ball go. On that play there, Peyton, I would have gone to pick up that bludger up at their hoop, and Andrew could have picked up the one that was at midfield when he tagged in. Great tackle, Andrew. Just try to work together with Peyton next time, but I liked how that looked. That was great. Just want to make sure you're talking. You could deflect, Peyton. Good tap out, Peyton. Love it. Love it. Seeker's coming out. That was way to get on him. Perfect. And he was definitely beat. Peachy, nice shot. So as soon as she picks that ball up right here, snitch on pitch is a complete free-for-all. That's what you want to do, just make sure that they have as few opportunities to beat your seeker as they possibly can. So right here, when she's getting this ball, instantly, as soon as she picks that up, smoke her. One of y'all should smoke her, the other one should get right on snitch. So Peyton's running over. He beats him. Yeah, caught it. It's no good. We know this already. We know how this game ends. Cool. We're back in it. Great job playing Quaffle here. I think we're up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Great job, Andrew. Now on offense, this is where we can really help out our seekers, because our offense shouldn't need us to score anymore. Their beaters are out here trying to prevent us from catching the snitch. So when we have budget control, we're up out of range and we're trying to catch the snitch. Our game plan is to just play defense like normal. Then on offense, let's slow down the offense so that it gives our beaters a ton of time to just beat their seeker. And that their beater, either one, has to play defense, or two, has to come up and try to prevent us from catching the snitch. Which means our offense can then go score, or our seeker is going to get unlimited time with the snitch. So it's kind of a win-win for us, right? But the big thing is that we're making sure on defense, we're still playing defense so that they don't possibly get back into snitch range. So this is honestly a pretty good way to play it. Just want to kind of reiterate the point behind that. And so nice, Andrew. On that one, I would grab that one first and throw it back, but the point was still there. This guy's getting a little scrappy with you. And another goal from Peachy. Love it. Honestly, this is the most disciplined I've seen us play. I really like it. And it looks like Caden catches a snitch. Right, yeah, and they call it good. Cool. Yeah, overall, as I said then when we were there, this was a really good game. This is the best game I think I've seen us play. The only thing is that when we're playing even better teams like Creighton and Minnesota, some of the mistakes that we made in game aren't going to be nearly as passable, right? They're going to cost us more against these really good teams. So as I said, the big focus before, beaters, make sure you're communicating. Make sure you're working together at all times. Like beating is 100% synergy, communication, and quick decision making. So you just got to make sure that like you're not hesitating. If you think you're going to throw a ball at someone, throw it at someone. If you don't think you're going to throw it, then don't throw it. Also, really make sure we're doing our rollbacks to make sure that we're still having control, even though we're getting beat, because it's not going to be as easy to get control back from a lot of these really good teams like Creighton and Minnesota, Kansas, and Mizzou. Overall, good game. I liked what I saw. Keep up the good work, and keep watching film throughout this week for regionals. Super important. Cool. I think that's it.